Very good morning. Today's topic is human digestive system. Now, human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. Let's check out the diagram. This is alimentary canal, which is actually a very long tube which extends from mouth till anus. It has some digestive glands associated with it like liver, gallbladder, pancreas and salivary glands. Now let's study the parts of human digestive system one by one. First part is mouth, right? It leads to a cavity which is known as buccal cavity or oral cavity, which is actually an open space in which tongue, teeth and glands are present. This mouth leads to a tube which is known as esophagus. From here, food enters the stomach. Stomach leads to small intestine and small intestine leads to large intestine and finally anus, through which undigested food or feces is thrown out of the body. Now, first part is mouth. We will study each part with their functions in detail. In the mouth, oral cavity, which is also called buccal cavity, a space, an open space is present in which tongue is present. What is the function of tongue? Tongue helps in tasting the food. It also helps in swallowing of the food. What is the function of teeth? Teeth helps in chewing the food. And glands are also present inside the buccal cavity. Those glands are known as salivary glands. They produce saliva in which enzyme is present which is known as salivary amylase or ptyalin. Now why is this enzyme important? Because this enzyme digests the carbohydrates, which is starch or glycogen. Whatever food we eat like rice, potato, chapati, that contains starch or glycogen, which is converted into simpler form, that is known as maltose, and this is done by the enzyme amylase or ptyalin. Now, this part, buccal cavity, leads to another part which is known as esophagus. Now, esophagus is a long tube. In this, peristaltic movements occur. What are peristaltic movements? The wall of esophagus that shows contraction and expansion so that food is pushed down into the stomach. Now what is the stomach? Now stomach is actually a J-shaped organ. Its walls are muscular, made up of muscles. It is present in the left side of abdomen. Various functions of stomach are, first function is storage of food. Stomach stores the food. For example, carbohydrates are stored for 1 or 2 hours. Fats are stored for 5 to 6 hours. Next function is mechanical churning of food, which means food is mechanically churned inside the stomach, which it is mixed well inside the stomach. Third one is partial digestion of food. Now food is digested in the stomach, but it is digested only partially, not fully. Last one is regulation of flow of food into the small intestine, which means food is pushed from stomach into the small intestine. Now this stomach has walls and those walls contains glands. They have some secretions. Those are known as gastric juices. Now gastric juice contains 3 important things. First one is hydrochloric acid. Second one is pepsin and third one is mucus. Now, hydrochloric acid, a very strong acid, right? It can damage the wall of the stomach. But for protecting the wall of the stomach from the action of hydrochloric acid, mucus is present. Okay, so what is the function of mucus? It's a very important question. Mucus protects the walls of stomach from the action of the hydrochloric acid. What is the function of hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid makes the medium acidic. Second thing, it activates the enzyme pepsin, which digests protein. So what is the function of pepsin? It breaks down proteins into simpler forms. Now, let's see both the enzymes, their reactions. Proteins are digested by the enzyme pepsin into a simpler form, which is known as polypeptides. Lipids are digested by lipase. Very small amount of lipase is present, which converts lipid into fatty acid and glycerol. Stomach then leads to duodenum, which is actually another part of the small intestine. you can see in this diagram, inside the stomach, whatever food is partially digested over here, that is known as chyme, C-H-Y-M-E, chyme. Now this chyme, when enters the duodenum, it meets the secretions of liver, pancreatic juice from pancreas. Liver produces bile, which digests fats. Okay, it emulsifies fats into smaller forms, smaller globules. Pancreas produces pancreatic juice, which contains enzyme trypsin, which break down proteins, lipase, which break down fats. Now, if we see various parts of small intestine, first one is duodenum. Duodenum we have already studied. It leads to duodenum and finally ileum. Now, if we talk about the small intestine, its wall also has some glands. Those are known as intestinal glands, and they produce intestinal juice, which contains enzyme for further digesting the food. Let's see what happens. Inside the intestinal juice, enzymes are present for converting carbohydrate into the simplest form, that is glucose, fats into fatty acid and glycerol, and proteins into simplest form, that is amino acids. So here digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. In the small intestine, some small finger-like projections are present. Those are known as villi, which are having blood vessels also. What is the function? They increase the surface area for absorption of digested food. Now, what if the food is digested over here? It is absorbed by the blood and transported to all the cells of the body, right? And whatever is undigested food, that food passes into the next part, that is known as large intestine. Now, let's see firstly the parts of large intestine. Here, this is cecum. We can see here, small intestine enters into large intestine through cecum. Then cecum leads to colon. This is colon. This is ascending colon, then transverse colon, and then descending colon. And last part is rectum, which stores the feces, which is undigested food. And lastly, anus is present, through which food exits the body. In the large intestine, basically water is absorbed and all the waste material is removed through the anus. Thank you.